Kicks it off down to the 10-metre line where it's Perry who brings it back for the Knights.
Stand up, hold.
Galea.
Hold.
He made the tackle down low. Was supposed to be starting at 5'8", but moves into the lock forward role. He's filled a lot of the year with Tyron Smith being out injured. Here's Parsons down. Takes it just outside the Newcastle 30. Kennedy runs a long way before he got to the Tigers' defence. He's almost back to the halfway line where Mesha chopped him down. Here's Wynn. The kicking duties in general play, of course. It was that facet of the Newcastle Knights game that really dropped away with Andrew Johns out for those 6 games with that medial ligament injury through the middle part of the season. We'll see how their kicking is tonight. Mesha comes to Luke O'Donnell, runs at Kennedy, drops him onto his backside before he's stopped just inside the Tigers' 30. Mesha comes back to his left-hand side. Craigie is there.
He's all there. None is. Let's make it.
Up inside the 10.
You were there, James, and the hooker, mate, John.
Tony Archer blows the first penalty of the night. It will put the Tigers about 15 metres into Newcastle territory. Mesha takes the tap and gives it off to a charging Shane Walker, who barreled him backwards as well. Good run from the front rower. Through the hands of Jeffries. Back it comes to Corey Pearson. He'll play it. 15 out from the Newcastle line. Jeffries through the hands of Craigie. He turns it back on the inside, and that's where they stop Galea. Still a number of tackles left in this set of 6. Back to the open side. There is O'Halloran on the outside of Walker. There weren't too many options on this left-hand side. They go back to the right now. Jeffries turns it back eventually to Kane, who saw half a gap in behind Gedley. It closed quickly with the help of Parsons. Jeffries again, grubbering this time through the legs, but beautiful hands from Kennedy. Picked it up just in front of his post, but an enterprising start from the Tigers.
Gee, some real purpose in the West Tigers running with plenty of power, plenty of venom, really testing the Newcastle Knights defence.
Gidley working it away from dummy half. Plays it back to Morris. Through the hands of Wynn. Goes to Billy Peter. Spends most of his time in attack on that left-hand side for the Knights as Rudder gets the dummy half and gives it off to Perry. Hit of a knock on. Tony Archer says he hung on to it. The Tigers certainly didn't think so. And Wynn again under all sorts of pressure this time from a couple of chases from the Tigers. Wasn't a good kick, and it came down to Kane. He slips a pass, goes away to O'Donnell, pushed away from Payton to McGuinness. It was almost away. And another penalty.
Steve, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Trying to slow McGuinness down, getting to his feet and getting the fast play the ball away. It will cost the Knights another set of 6 in defence. And they're just 30 out, the Tigers. Walker again. A stormy run of 10 metres. Mesha looking for a fast play the ball. It will come to Jeffries. Options for him. He finds Pearson. Has met a very solid tackle. Steve Simpson. And a standout in defence in recent weeks for the Knights, along with Kennedy, who makes this tackle on Luke O'Donnell. Mesha gives it off to Jeffries. Comes to Galea. Stands in the tackle there. He'll play it, 10 out from the Newcastle line. Quickly from dummy half they go. To Craigie, second man play. Through the hands there of Payne. Carlo has to go back for it. Most of the tackle, and around about 10 metres. Craigie it is. He'll put it high in the air. Slight breeze behind the Tigers in that first half. And
we're back to the 20.
Absolutely no pressure there on O'Davis. It was a great bomb. It was almost to the dead ball line, and with no chasers coming through, O'Davis had the simplest of takes. Simpson takes it up for the Knights, and now the Tigers are inside the 10.
Let's get out of there. Let's get over there. That's right. Never came 10.
Well, guess what? The referees have been told to clamp down on this week. Let's just hope that this last throughout the entirety of the game. Looking forward to make sure that they stay apart. Gee, I tell you what, there's not too much real estate in that being offside, but what it has done is provide an excellent opportunity for the Knights. 42 metres out.
Parsons it is, who takes it up to the 30. Perry runs at Pearson.
Hands off! Right there!
A little bit of a facial massage as well, the young front rower. Turn the ball back on the inside to Simpson. It comes back to him. Stepping off the left. Trying to put Tahu into a hole there. He'll play it. 10 out. Runner. Short ball for Peter. Just moves away from the Tigers line. Kennedy trying his luck now. Perry.
Last one, stand up!
They've used 5. They've got one more. Centre as well. Another massage for Josh Perry. 2 on the one set of 6. A flat pass. Across the face of them. Morris got away. Slipped the ball out the back. Intended for Gidley. He couldn't find him. And a good thing too for the Tigers.
I think they had numbers there, the Newcastle Knights. They needed to go through the hand. They just didn't do that. Just hung on one pass too long.
Carlo trying to find a path outside the Tigers 20. Centre, physical tackle. Perry and Parsons trying to exact some revenge. Going from dummy half quickly. Messer will play it. About 35 out from his own line, and they'll kick through Jeffries. Not a deep one. Davis will take it on the full and bring it back with the help of Tahu. Playing on the left wing tonight. Kennedy dropping to the blind side quickly, trying to catch them out.
Never there! I'm standing right there!
And once again,
You and Corey. You and Corey.
the Tigers up inside the 10. Marco Howard, the player, being called out this time in conjunction with Corey Pearson. The Knights, another great chance to open the scoring here. Parsons. He'll play it back to Morris. They go to win. They shifted early. Rudder. Davis hit a very strong tackle. Well, Peter Corfusi raced up and crushed him. Rudder takes it down to within about 7 of the Tigers' try line. He plays it back to O'Davis, who gets the dummy half. Here's Peter stepping in traffic. No way through for him. O'Davis again doing the dummy half duties. Finds Wynn to Kennedy. Centre went high and Kennedy bounced off him.
Hold! Hold! Play the ball, Ben.
Last tackle again for the Knights. Win this time. Second man play comes to McDougall. Got away from one tackle. Stealing his way across. They pushed him touch and goal.
Wonderful last line defence for the Tigers. Owen Craigie in there. Shane Walker, another one.
No, it's not.
That is terrific defence. The desperation that's on board this team, quite evident. One of the strongest players in rugby league, no chance.
3 of them there in the end to push him over the touch and goal line. He was so strong, McDougall. Here's centre. The Tigers back rower gives away a fair bit of weight to this Newcastle pack, especially tonight. Now Galea still short of the halfway line. Just over 9 minutes here at Campbelltown. No score yet between the Tigers and the Knights. Jeffries finds the far touchline. A good kick from the Tigers halfback. And the Knights will be forced to work it away from inside their own 10.
Yep.
One thing that is standing out tonight is the ferocity in the defence. At both ends of the field, when there's a try on call, both of these teams are really putting themselves on the line for defensively, and it's been some sterling tackles.
And isn't that a great restart from the Tigers as well? A 20-metre restart, they've kicked the ball after 5. A 10-metre restart coming up for the Newcastle Knights. You mentioned a couple of the Tigers that were responsible for that last-ditch tackle in the bottom right corner of our screen. Let's also remember the hit from Kafusi. He came in off his wing on the far side to snuff out what was a certain try.
Some good work from the Tigers again. Off the scrum went for Newcastle. Here's Gidley. Bullocks his way for about 10 metres. Simpson, a step away from the Walker tackle. Very committed, this Tigers defensive outfit tonight. Win, a dummy half to run up. Ball on the outside to McDougall. Lovely pass for Tahu. Craigie can't put it with him. Kane coming across, but he slips a lovely ball to Kennedy. There's try number 11 for the Newcastle second row of this season, and they lead the Tigers 4 points to 0.
Oh, what a response from Newcastle. One end of the field to the other. And some quality rugby league involved. A quick shift to their left-hand side defence. Caught the Tigers' defence a little bit short. One of those Kevin McGuinness, his combination with Kaufusi just not there. What a wonderful step back on the inside. And good support play. That has got to be a real slap on the face to the Tigers, Russell.
Well, the real key in this play was Adam McDougall. Right here, two players come in. That sends Tamana Tahu away. Now, Ben Kennedy shows some remarkable pace and very level-headed. Stays inside, positions himself to take the pass. And Ben Kennedy will make a lot of punters happy. Over for the first try. And away he goes again, Kennedy. Marvellous stuff. Had some drama during the week, but it's certainly not telling in his game right now.
As we said, try number 11 for this season, 46 in his career now. Both the Raiders and the Knights. Peter adds the extras, has the kicking responsibilities tonight. Andrew Johns thinks it was real amusing. He'd be the man normally out there doing the goal kicking. Might not have been the cleanest strike, but he certainly piloted it at home. And the Knights lead the Tigers 6 points to 0.
Yeah, I will, mate.
Dougal has been so damaging in recent times. Scored 4 tries against the Auckland Warriors. Ericsson, a couple of rounds ago now, as Perry brings it out from the kickoff.
Get up.
Parsons almost lost it. This was a hard one from dummy half. He did well to hang on to it. Simpson takes his turn. Runs at Craigie. He gets some help from Luke O'Donnell. Morris comes to Kennedy again. Oh, got a ball away looking for O'Davis. He was away with only Joel Kane in front of him. Had he been able to get the pass. Now Morris goes from dummy half. Gets a ball back on the inside for Wynn. Here comes to Joel Kane. He was looking for support. Got there too late. Simpson, they come to the short side. Here's Gidley. He switches it. Back to Rudder. The ball in the air. Behind Lapita Kaufusi, but the kick is too big. He has had his moments of nervousness under the high ball at times, Kaufusi this year, but on that occasion, had all the time in the world.
Well, Russell, Fairfax mentioned a couple of sets of 6 ago that he thought the Knights erred by throwing a couple of longer passes rather than going through the hands. They had a major overlap once again on that occasion. Clever. He turned, they chopped and changed from sides. Another penalty coming up for the Knights. That will be gladly accepted. But Russell, they just seem to panic a little bit.
Completion rates there, yes, certainly right. Real soft off to them on that set of 6, and they did have numbers 3 on 2 out wide, so chance is gone.
Walker from the tackles. The Tigers have it inside the Newcastle 30. Jeffries showing a number of ways. He had Pearson in motion on his left-hand side, centre aiming up on his outside. Another player got the ball was Craigie. Turns it back for McGuinness. Diving and ducking, trying to get away from the Kennedy tackle. Here's Jeffries now. Takes it back on the inside for Pearson. Kept it alive once again, but there's what's happening in this set of 6 for the Tigers. They're just outside the Newcastle 20. That's where Kane plays it. They go to the right-hand side. Galea dropping it onto the ground. Davis gets over there and cleans up.
Straight on him, mate.
Playing his 170th game for the Newcastle Knights tonight. Moves him 1 clear of Paul Harrigan and into 4th place all time for the Knights. across the face of the Tigers defence. An easy target for them in the end. Simpson again. Runner. It's a dummy half, but gives it off to Gidley. He's trying to work on their favourite blindside plays. Gidley's almost a specialist at it. Win. And a kick over the head of Kane. Back penalty to take it just outside his own 10. Brings it back another 20 or so. Galea. Stepping inside Billy Peenan. Coming up in support was Cardle, who was taken without the ball, I thought.
No,
we might see a penalty here. No, he won't.
No way. He got you right as you got the ball, mate. I'm right there. No, I'm right there. No way. I was standing right there, Darren. As soon as he got him, mate. He was hanging right onto him. It was tight.
It certainly was tight. It might have been a little bit more than tight. Tony Archer, though, was right on the spot. Had a great view of it. And has ruled that Carwell put the ball down of his own accord. The Knights have it now from the scrum wing. Gidley against O'Halloran. He made his debut about 4 or 5 weeks ago against the Melbourne Storm. Now Colonial was not happy to do. 64 points the Storm racked up and answered. Change for the Tigers. Walker comes off and Scandal's going on. He's out there in 17 making the tackle on Parsons. Morris to Rudder. And Simpson outside him, pouring into a huge gap. He's looking for the try line and will find it as well. Power play from the second rower.
Can we just check whether or not he goes over the dead ball line before he grounds it there?
Tony Archer just wants to make sure about the put down. It looks pretty good from our position. They came so quickly on their right-hand side and caught the Tigers out, and Simpson, too strong, just stormed through a huge gap to score.
Yeah, pretty comfortably inside there. The right thing, I guess, the referee just wanted to make sure whether or not that there was any infringement right at the end of it. In an effort to be able to get round. All grounded with about 30 centimetres to spare, I guess. But they're running some very clever angles, the Newcastle team at the moment. They're running some good options, and they're making the decision to hit holes rather than try and run over the top of players.
The Tigers' defence looked very good for the first 10 minutes or so before the Kennedy try. There is the green light. Simpson makes it a double for the second rowers here. In this first half, the Newcastle Knights lead the Tigers 10 points to 0. We've had just on 18 minutes here at Campbelltown after starting so well defensively. They've really opened up a couple of times. McDougall able to get onto the outside on the first occasion. On this occasion here, Craigie coming up quickly, couldn't get to the pass, and Simpson had a huge hole to run into as a consequence. Peter just to the right of the post. Makes no mistake with that one either. And very quickly, it's 12 points to 0. The Knights lead the Tigers.
Well, Russell, in pressure situations like that, I'm sure that the Tigers players are going to have to commit themselves one way or the other. We saw Owen Craigie, the man that got left out in that situation, and that has great understanding of his opponent's abilities. He's either got to commit himself to the ball carrier or the person that's the intended receiver.
There it is. So we'll bring it back out again. Pearson up around the shoulders to make the tackle. Here's Parsons. Runs at centre. Some help from O'Donnell, who helps to stop him just inside the 30. Kennedy changes tack. Bounced away from the O'Donnell tackle. They keep it alive again. Or Peden's pass McDougall went behind the centre. He might have been away again. He's still away. He comes to Kane and runs past him as well. They drag him down from behind. There was nothing doing for the Knights. McDougall created all of his own accord. Win. It comes down to Albert. Gidley to Win. Now comes the runner again. Peter. McDougall standing very well. That was a little bit too soft. Kennedy's fired up. The Knights have scored in back-to-back sets now, and it's 16 points to 0.
Yeah, I think your description was a summation, a little bit too soft. Here's how they got to be in good field position. A very powerful run by Adam McDougall. He is having an absolute blinder in the early process of this game. A good tackle, eventually bringing him down. McGuinness and also Kane getting back. Just have a look at the pressure they put on the blind side. Not enough Tigers players there. I still thought that there was an opportunity. 4 defenders there were carried over the line.
A great interchange of passes there. Plenty of confidence in each other, just backing up enough. Common spin and a massive lunge there. It's all about possession for the Newcastle Knights. That's what it has been. They've had most of the football and applied just about all the pressure. No wonder they're comfortably leading.
Beaten with his toughest kick of the night. You wouldn't know they're missing Andrew Johns at the moment, would you? He slots that one as well, and it's 18 points to 0. The Knights are going at almost a point a minute now. The first couple of weeks of Andrew Johns' absence, when he strained that medial ligament at the Sydney Football Stadium, they won those first 2, but then a 4-game losing streak after that. Tonight again, without him out there, just continued on as they had up until the Sharks game last week. And they'll be thankful it is only a 2-game suspension. Of course, they do take on the Dragons next week. It'll be a very big game for both sides, but especially for the Dragons. Here's Perry now. Well, they've got a real sniff tonight. You can tell the forwards picking up big meters in this set of 6 as Morris comes to Gimley. He's away again. Albert cuts back on the inside. They won't catch him. The Tigers haven't touched the ball. The Knights have scored 3 tries unanswered to lead 22 points to 0. They're playing with them. They're taking the mickey.
They're also taking their blindside defence to pieces and making an absolute mockery of it. Darren Centre, the skipper, he was the man that was left on the ground. A little bit of lack of communication going on out there as well. O'Halloran was the man that didn't get the chance to be able to make a call. John Carlaw, well, he was left on the wing and presented with a chance to try and chase it down. He was no chance.
One of the basic rules in football, you've got to get a man to mark, and when you take a man to mark, you've got to put him to ground. Well, the West Tigers failed on both accounts there, and Darren Albert, the end result, it is now becoming comfortable.
Leading try scorer in the history of the Newcastle Knights, 65 now he has scored. Might be with them next season. Beaten once again, looking to keep his record intact. Another clean strike. And it's 24 points to 0. Joey's busy signing autographs at the moment. His only concern is whether he'll leave the ground with writer's cramp.
Or perhaps even the record, the way Billy Peden kicking.
Yeah, of course. Andrew Johns racked up 34 points against the Raiders a couple of rounds ago. Billy might have to score 4 tries of his own to get anywhere near that particular mark that Johns racked up a few rounds ago.
Very well take the goal kicking now, only has to put over 9.
That would equal the record that Johns equaled himself. Now Peter, he'll play it. 15 out from the halfway line. Here's Perry. A little bit of roughing up from the Tigers forwards early on. It might have been the worst thing they did all night, the Tigers. Parsons runs at Mesher, offloads it to O'Davis. Here they come again. Morris grumbling in behind Carlo this time. He couldn't handle it. Playing on will be 6 more tackles for the Knights. That will be the 0 tackle as you hear Tony Archer confirm. Simpson again coming. Can they score 4 tries here without the Tigers touching it for a tackle? Win to the left-hand side. Runner Gorfusi was up very quickly, off his legs, and that will be play on, the most unlikely of intercepts, if you like.
That's exactly right. Had Gorfusi been watching the football, he would have now been standing under the crossbar, untouched, scoring a try. They're away anyway. Here goes Willie Manu. He comes to McDougall, who stops him 25 out from the Newcastle line. Scandalis to Jeffries. A ball back on the inside for Pearson, who's running like Darren Albert himself to get there. What an incredible turnaround in the space of seconds. Newcastle looked like scoring their fifth at the other end of the field. Suddenly Corey Pearson stormed through a hole to make it 24 points to 4. A remarkable 60 seconds of play. Well, the Tigers got the ball at the other end of the football field after the Knights decided to shift the ball to the left-hand side. It bounced off the hips or legs of Gorfusi. A couple of tackles later, they got the opportunity to be able to shift the ball. What a wonderful inside ball. You've got to pay credit. There's not too many front rowers that bother backing up on the inside, chasing a half-back across field.
Yeah, great inside pass. And what about Pearson? Could see the line, head went back. There's no way he was going to be stopped. Some late defence there, but the West Tigers will learn something out of that for sure. Quick turnover, let's move the football. They'll be looking to move it if they possibly can from here on in, especially from those extremely quick turnovers.
Russell, probably the only criticism that we've had. A couple of West Tigers players there looking a little bit happier about it. Byron Smith wiping a grin on his face rather than off it as he sees Joel Kane line up the ball, try and get them a little bit closer back into this game. But when they've been shifting the ball across field, the Knights, sometimes they've made some unordinary choices.
Inside the right-hand upright. We've had 30 points in less than half an hour of play here at Campbelltown, 24 points to 6. We had a throwback to the old days, if you like, last night between the Eels and the Bulldogs at the showground in a game which featured plenty of tough defence, some real semi-final type football. And this game continues the theme of most of the season. We've had big scorelines, and well, we know we'll be heading for 70 or 80 again here this evening. Corey Pearson, the try scorer, brings it back out and bounces off both Parsons and Kennedy before they get him again. Scandalis. Gorfusi. He's 10 short of the halfway line. Jeffries. Craigie very quickly out wide that Newcastle defence. It's Jeffries again. Short pass for Scandalis, who did well to hang on to it. That will be 5 for the Tigers. Play it back to Mesha. Craigie it is, who'll get the kick away. He'll find Albert though. It was a poor kick. He had all the space behind both McDougall and Albert. McDougall playing at fullback for the time being. Found Albert right on the chest with the kick. Here's Julian Bailey.
Second grab, Terry, leave it alone. Julian, let's get up and play the ball. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do.
The Tigers give away some cheap leaders here. The Knights will have it just on the halfway line. Julian Bailey on the field because this man, Robbie O'Davis, has gone back to the bench. Try and give you a report as soon as we can if there's anything wrong with O'Davis. Again, for the fullback to be coming from the field. Here's Parsons. Standing very flat at the advantage line. Mesha only just got him. Now Wynn gets to Billy Hart. The Simpson outside him. He finds Kinley again. holding the ball in one hand, lost it there in the tackle. Should have been a knock-on. Knocked backwards, says Tony Archer, but the tackle was completed. So it should have been a scrum to the Tigers with the feed. Here's Campbelltown. He can't hang on to it. He juggles it, comes down with it eventually. Centre point by Kennedy. He really is fired up tonight.
Yeah, no, I just wonder how long it's going to be until the accelerator is taken off. Both of these teams are playing this game at a million miles an hour at the moment.
Keep coming.
And Dallas runs and runner. Pearson angles in behind the ruck and got a good ball away to Joel Kane. Gidley couldn't get to him. He's looking for support. Getting there late is Jeffries. He'll link up a beautiful pass and he fires to Craigie, the former Knights. They're just outside the Newcastle 20. Mesher to Jeffries. On the last tackle. Here's McGuinness. McDougall beats him to it, but they'll get 6 more tackles. Good to the 6 from the Tigers.
Good pressure play. Very well done by the Tigers. They got there by a wonderful offload from Corey Pearson. Terrific support from Joel Kane. Probably been one more. Had they had another one, I think they almost certainly would have gone over. They finished it off quite cleverly. But whilst we're giving them a little bit of praise, let's also hand out a little bit to Adam McDougall. Experienced enough to realise that there was nobody left at the back. Fullback committed to the mark.
Mark O'Neill out there in 16 for the Tigers. He plays it. Comes to Galea. And no win. He played eventually. Happy about the slowing down tactics through the hands of Craigie. Well handled by O'Halloran. Kept it up off his bootlaces. Craigie again, first receiver. Dallas was set upon. Getting up very quickly to make the tackle was Marquardt. Craigie. Good pass to Galea. Well handled and Campbelltown gets on the outside to return the favour. The Tigers are in. They're making something of a game of it after the last point. They might score a million. It's 24 points to 10.
Well, it's an attack-a-thon here in Campbelltown. Right, open attacking play. A couple of wide passes offered the opportunity. An absolute bullet from Galea. Got the ball across. Had it been 1 kilometre an hour slower, Russell, I'm sure, but it was intercept material.
Yes, super pass, goes right to line, commits them. He should have stayed out wide to Tahu. They were man on man there. Just slipping in a little, perhaps looking to crunch the person who is expecting the ball to go. Went straight across in front of him. And that's what upset the defence. Straight across in front of McGuinness. Kafusi had a stroll to the line.
Just looking at that replay, just showed how stretched the Knights' defence was. So let's pay credit to those couple of inside passes as well. They transferred the possession right across the paddock. Probably a little bit of a gentle reminder coming to the Knights at the moment. I don't think they've got too much to panic about. Still 14 points in front, but they know that they're not going to get it all their own way. Seemingly with the game already in possession 5 minutes ago, now involved in a little bit of a struggle.
Kane from 5 metres in from that eastern touchline. Strikes it beautifully. Absolutely letter perfect. And the Tigers are right back in it. 24 points to 12 after 34 minutes. What an amazing first half we've had.
What an amazing display by the kickers. Peden and Kane on the money.
Combined 6 from 6 so far in this game. Some lovely passing from the Tigers in the lead-up to the Kafusi try. And it's a runner who supplies the kick-off. It's O'Neill who will bring it back, who runs with the shoulder of Marquardt. For the offload, in fact, the ball came away and Joel was there to jump on it. Robbie O'Davis looking to come back onto the field. And an old rib injury, which forced him off the field. He got shaken up in a tackle, but looking to come back on, so obviously he's okay. And Dallas finding back to his feet. Sloppy play the ball. Craigie will kick early in the tackle count. Coming down from McDougall, filling in for O'Davis. Fullback. Steps away from him, spins, still going. Comes to Joel Kane. What a handful he is. They had him hemmed in. There was nowhere to go, and he just ducked underneath both tackles. Kennedy on the outside to Margaret. Bailey goes to the blind side. Finds Kennedy. Passes back to Bailey. He drops it. The ball's there for the Tigers. It was knocked on by Newcastle.
Up here.
No advantage to the Tigers. And they'll get the scrum feed back up near the halfway line.
You're losing feed.
Davis comes back on. And it's Simpson who comes from the field, so a reshuffle
Let's
for
get
the
in,
Knights.
Ben, and stay in.
Well, that's one of the things when
Davis
went off, McDougall had to shift back, and that is when the West Tigers started to attack, and they went down the flank. So it was because McDougall may have had to move back to fullback that gave them the opportunity.
The reshuffle will force Julian Bailey into the forward pack. Versatile player that he is. Centre bouncing away from tacklers. Picked up by Kennedy, but they're just outside the Newcastle 40. Jeffries to Craigie. Gidley up very quickly to shut it down. Craigie got away from him. Ball back to Craigie eventually, staying alive, running down the field. Here comes Carlo running onto it, got tackled by Alvin.
He gone for the ball, he had the ball.
He didn't have the ball cleanly in his hands, but he had made contact with it. And Albert was within his rights to crunch him and did a great job of it. Had Carlo got to it though and hung on to it, he might have been a good chance here of going all the way. Beautifully placed kick. There it is. He had a play on it, and Albert had a play on him. Here's McDougall. This time McGuinness straps him up. Prime. Snuck right across the chest by Scandalus. Clint Newton makes it up to within 15 of the halfway line. Came out of it holding his shoulder as well. He looks to be in a bad way. King comes down to Joel Kane. He brings it back to within a couple of metres of the Tigers' 40-metre line. But some injury worries here for the Newcastle Knights. Davis is back out there for the time being, but with a rib injury. Clint Newton really struggling at the moment with the shoulder out there. On the field for the time being as it goes back to Willie Manu. Got away from McDougall tackle who might have stripped it.
Double knock-ons, double knock-ons. First off the Tigers, double knock-ons.
The Knights will get it from the scrum.
Your bloke drops it, mate. Your bloke drops it.
There's Clint Newton, left shoulder. He went straight to it after being involved in a tackle in the previous set.
Okay. You right, Clinton? Can you get in? Put in, James. Put it in, mate.
Crook shoulder, can you get in? Doesn't matter. Get in there and start pushing with
Stay
your
there,
shoulder.
Ben! Play the advantage, there's nothing there. He's offside.
The Tigers up too quickly. Great chance for the Knights to extend this margin again. They take the quick tap. Morris fires it to Gidley. No numbers there for the Tigers on this right-hand side. Newton comes across, ignoring the play for the moment, but got met by a very healthy reception committee. Goes for that shoulder again. He really is battling at the moment. O'Brien fires it out the back and goes through the hands of Wynn to Kennedy. Here's trouble. McDougall on the outside of McGuinness. Lovely ball back on the inside from Kennedy to Tahu, and then back once more to Julian Bailey. A marvellous try by the Knights. Kennedy's having a blinder. He's had more fist pumps than Tiger Woods, and it's 28 points to 12.
And you don't really need to have a look at the Tigers' game plan to work out exactly who they're targeting. They're running to the right side defence of the Tigers. McGuinness is their #1 target, their priority, and they're getting one of the biggest players on the field to run at him. Kennedy, the man that's almost been relentless in running at him. McDougall, when he gets involved as well, is just too big for the little bloke making a comeback to first-grade football. And that's quality, real quality backing up.
Well, Davis back on the field. McDougall went back out to the centres, and G. Matey's presence felt very, very quickly. Very strong. They play to that side. When he plays there, they're a different side up front. Slips the ball back inside. Kennedy's having a whale of a game as well. Julian Bailey, replacement.
Romeo Davis doing the kicking this time with Peter not out there for the moment. First miss on the night we've seen from a kicker. 28 points to 12 on the stroke of half-time. That'll just about do us as far as action. In fact, there's the siren now. A good half for the Knights. They've scored 28 points. Clint Newton, a little bit the worse for wear, as you can see him favouring that shoulder coming off the field. But they lead by 16, the visitors. Robbie Davis is out there to start the second half, and will get us back underway as Tony Archer blows time on. It will come down for Ben Jeffries, who gives it off to Scandalis to bring it back. The Tigers need a couple of tries to get themselves back in this game. The defence at the start of the first half was good. We'll see if they can get back to that solid line they had for the first 10 minutes. O'Neill takes it up just short of the 40. Here's centre. Into the shoulder of Steve Simpson. Terrific work again in defence tonight. Galea. Ball to Scandalis. There's Kennedy making yet another tackle. His 16th of the night. Jeffries on the last will kick across to midfield. Will come down for Darren Albert. A wall of Tigers in front of him, but when you have his sort of speed, it doesn't mean too much. You can make holes of your own ability.
You got to make it, Willie. You got to make it there, Lapini.
Tigers up inside the 10. It was Lapina Corfusi penalised. Winger a little bit too keen to get up and make a hit, perhaps similar to the one that he put on Robbie Davis in the opening minutes. Morris gives it to Mark. A strong tackle from Willie Manu, who can hit. Great timer in defence. O'Brien comes to Galea. O'Neill also there, and then coming in late Scandalis. 4 of them there. They've been penalised for holding him down to the play the ball again as they dart from dummy half with Morris. Here's Wynn running at them at speed, gets it back for Kennedy, who picks up a hat-trick. Great run from Wynn, filling in from Johns. He's watched the master a lot, obviously. Run at them at speed and make them stop, and that's exactly what he did. Right out of the Johns playbook, and they lead now by 20.
And so they should celebrate, but there's also a lot of criticism got to be levelled at the Tigers' defence close to their own line. Not a lot of commitment going on. They should have raced up to put some sort of pressure on the ball carrier. Too many of them waiting to see Kennedy getting the ball. By the time he grabbed hold of it, they were too close to the line.
Well, here's one of the keys that's troubled them all year. They make the tackle, but they can't cut the ball off. It still gets moved, and Kennedy, just on his outside on his shoulder there, does it easy, and yes, acknowledges it. That wasn't his try. He may have dotted down, but it belonged to the man inside.
Kennedy now too clear of Glenn Morrison as far as the leading try scorer in the league for the forwards. A great night tonight. Darren Centre having a lot to say. The horse might have bolted though already after just a couple of minutes of this second half. Davis missed with his first attempt. He makes it 0 for 2. Peter still off the field. The score remains 32 points to 12 for the Newcastle Knights.
And I think the Tigers have got to have a firm look at their own discipline. That's 3 times they've been penalised for ruck infringements or not being back 10 metres in defence. On every occasion that they've been penalised, they've had a try posted against them within 6 tackles.
It was Lapina Korfusi, of all players, the winger, who is playing free in from the wing in the second half with both McGuinness and Jeffries playing outside him in defence. Bailey now picks it up where he stops by O'Neill. End of a knock on there. No call from Tony Archer. Here's Kennedy again, had the right arm cocked, looking to get the ball away to O'Davis.
Leave him, Darren.
Penalty here.
Leave him alone, mate. Leave him alone.
Tigers are just killing themselves in the opening minutes of the second half.
Well, they've got to make sure that someone stands up. I mean, it's very difficult. They know that they're against a white-hot Knights outfit at the moment. But Darren Centre, as captain, has got to show enough maturity and responsibility to try and settle his team down and make sure that they're not cutting their own throat.
There's Margaret, who races up with him. He's tackled 18 metres out. With a dummy half to runner. Ball back on the inside for McDougall to Kennedy, who was hitting the hole, but Scandales was there and got quite a shot at him as well. He put it down before he got to the defensive line. He might pick up 4 or 5 tonight, Kennedy, the way he's going. He's certainly looking for the ball. Mesha running from dummy half.
Mate. Just call the numbers, mate. Hey. Cherry. Where you go?
Good run by Mesha, caught them inside the 10. Quick tap taken. Nothing happening though. Jeffries, and he plays it quickly. Jeffries again. This time we had O'Neill cutting back to the right-hand side, but couldn't link up with him. Mesha to Craigie. Centre outside him. And just a simple play. Not much happening for the Tigers once more. O'Neill now. Second man play to Jeffries. Galea spinning. Away though from the tackle of Kennedy. And McDougall has gone down, clutching his knee. Might have been an innocent victim there in the tackle of Kennedy, who might have come into contact with him. And McDougall is in all sorts of trouble. Tahu has come up with the kick for the Newcastle Knights, but that's a bad sign for you Newcastle Knights fans.
Right there. Is he right? Is he right? Play the ball.
Stoppage here and play. Tony Archer right alongside McDougall as he asked the trainer if he was okay. He's right in the line of fire here, and Tony Archer needs to stop the play.
He's
We'll do that now.
He's now in the way, Darren. Up until then.
Robbie O'Davis can't keep balking to try and get us to run up.
Okay, I'll have a look. I'll have a look. I'll have a look at it. I'll have a look at it.
McDougall clutched at his left leg, the knee in particular. Almost immediately he was connected with as Ben Kennedy made the tackle. Looks to be okay for the moment though. Here's Kennedy coming across. And you see just come into contact there with the knee of McDougall with the boot there. You see, there it is.
Off, John,
Kennedy,
roll off, let go!
he spun around in the tackle, the back of his heel, struck McDougall on the outside of the knee, and he went to ground immediately. He's back on his feet for the moment, though. Now Wynn. A good kick in this time from inside his own 40 as well, and Kane got there to cut it off. Strong tackle by Tahu right across the chest of Kane. Just launched himself at him. Carlo now.
Two-way Green, get off now!
Just outside the Tigers 30. Trail by 20. Here's centre. Mesha gives it away to Kramer. He's taking Joshua to the halfway line. Again, pretty much one-out stuff by the Tigers. The pass which didn't find its intended receiver. Jeffries cleans up. And the last tackle comes to Galea, who puts a kick in over the head of Tahu. We thought it was over the head. It was, in fact. And he'll field it just inside the dead ball line. Good tackle by Galea. What a pass. Away to Darren Albert. They'll trap them inside the in goal, but what confidence they've got. A looping one-hander from Tahu to Albert.
Look, let's play here. A huge compliment to both teams there. A terrific kick from Galea. Just see Tahu went back. Bounced off the goink in the end. It got back. Just have a look at the confidence here. It borders on arrogance, doesn't it? But that's wonderful to see on a football field, to be able to attack from inside your own try line.
Here's Scandalis. 25 out from the Newcastle line. To the offloads, what a difference they tell as far as the game goes. O'Neill now. Win, or rather Jeffries. McGuinness is wrapped up. Might have lost the ball as well. Hung on to it by a fingernail. And the McDougall tackle, who was there with Wynn. Jeffries again, just sauntering forward. Not much happening for them as they go towards the post. So they come back to the right-hand side. Galea almost got away from the Kennedy tackle. Sloppy play the ball, could have easily been a penalty to the Tigers. Craigie, ball to centre, who was hitting it at speed, but the post was just behind him.
Wasted opportunities there for the West Tigers. Certainly numbers out wide. The pass just didn't stick behind the man who was going with a bit of pace and an angle.
O'Brien keeps it alive. Lovely hands from O'Davis to Bailey and now to McDougall. Just pushes past McGuinness and then gives it off to Tahu. Can't get away from the Corfusi tackle though, and he drags him into touch.
They call it at the same time. In we go. Scrum in here.
Good defence from Corfusi. Lovely break again. McDougall just put the step on McGuinness. Coming across throughout the arm. Corfusi got there eventually after having a crack at McDougall himself.
Let's wait for the ball.
Put him on the chalk.
Let's get him, Ben. Stay in it. Get up, Sean. Get away.
Tigers have it from the scrum winner. Kane will play it. Centre. Shane Walker back out there for the Tigers with Manu off. Stephen Crouch is out there also for the Tigers in 15 now. Scandalis with getting a breather for the moment. Good ball from O'Neill to Craigie. And it came away to O'Halloran, who finds Kane.
Hold it.
Jeffries. Double pump. To Galea.
Last one, Sean. Stand up.
Great season for the Tigers, Galea.
Onside.
Kick. Everybody onside you here. Tony Archer save came down to the Tigers.
Ball on the ground. It's a last.
O'Neill was there, but
Here we go.
Newcastle Knights hadn't touched it. In fact, it was O'Halloran who came down with it. Here they come again, sprinting it as soon as they can to the left-hand side. Tahu gets away from the Corfusi tackle.
Keep coming. Keep there.
Parsons.
True. Off, Ben.
Ball down in the crouch tackle, just short of the 40. Perry. Pumps it out the back. It bounces up for Bailey.
Three. Get away. Steve off.
Runner. To McDougall again. Nowhere for him to go this time as McGuinness was up in his face. It's Perry again. Runs at them.
Steve Crouch away.
And Walker got a half a shot on him on the last tackle. Come back to win. Looking for the touchline and finds it a couple of metres out from the corner post. Good kick from the halfback. Having a very good debut tonight.
Yeah, mate.
No, it was his first game filling in for Andrew Johns. Variety to his kicks. Set up a lovely try for Kennedy.
Yeah, I think it's his authority, Warren, that's been the most impressive point. He hasn't been prepared to just sit back and say, well, I'll follow the other blokes around the paddock. He's taken by the horns and decided to run the football and let the rest chase him.
Stay in.
His defence as well has also been admirable, quite strong.
Here's McGuinness switching sides for the time being. Got it off to O'Halloran, who gives it back to Owen Craigie. Just the one try in the second half so far. 13 minutes of it. O'Neill settle straight into the attack. Walker. Goes back to Galea, trying to put the goose step on McDougall. Holds him there and then throws him backwards. Crouch. Centre. Back to Corey Pearson. A strange choice for the second man he played. There were runners in front of him and I don't even know that Pearson was expecting it. Centre. From dummy half. It's a kick away which finds O'Davis on the chest. They'll try and launch the counter attack again. McGuinness wraps him up. He forced a mistake here. And they've dived on it. The Tigers. Centre has it. We'll play it back to Corfusi. He's just 10 metres away from the Newcastle line. Spread to the left-hand side. Jeffries is there at first receiver. Comes to Pearson. Pick him up and stop him. Just inside the 10. Jeffries turns it back for Craigie. He saw half a gap. He's still going. He saw more than half a gap. He saw the try line. The Knights opening up. It's 32 points to 16. The Tigers aren't done with yet.
And wouldn't Craigie enjoy that try against his former club? They've shown a real hunger to attack most of the try line. Terry Lamb, the Tigers coach, barking out the orders to his trainer to take to his players on the field. But they got an opportunity because of a very strong tackle that came by Kevin McGuinness on Robbie O'Davis. The ball was forced free a couple of tackles later. He got the chance. Ball turned back inside. And extremely good work. Dragging a couple of big blokes across the line as well. Josh Perry and Robbie O'Davis.
Six tries now in the season for Owen Craigie. He's missed a lot of games with injury. Joel Kane from almost right in front. That's the extra two. Jason Lowry and Tyron Smith with Kiwis watching on from the grandstand tonight. Lowry retiring at the end of the season and Tyron Smith headed for Canberra. 14 points the difference. Plenty of time here at Campbelltown. The Knights certainly can't afford to go to sleep.
Well, I was going to say, Warren, that last scoreboard we saw there, the most interesting point of the whole lot, I thought, was the timepiece. 58 minutes into the game, 28 to go. Another try coming up to the Tigers in the next 5 or 10 minutes could make things very interesting. Obviously, the Knights still well and truly in the box seat. But home ground advantage and crowd support behind the Tigers.
He's centre. Corey Pearson. Again, a good run from him. To the 40-metre line is Mesha. Give it to Jeffries. To the hands of Galea. To Craigie into another hole. Here they come again, the Tigers. Galea back on the inside. Now it's a race between Galea and Albert. Galea gets there. Did he get the ball down? Yes, he did.
Just check the grounding, mate. Whether he's held up.
And that's common sense by the referee. He was actually on the far side.
Mate.
He missed Craigie putting the ball down. There's no doubt whatsoever Craigie's got the ball down, but he was on the far side.
Here it is again. Albert comes late. Galea sliding across the line, spinning. He knows he needs to get to the ground. And there it is. A try for the Tigers. Back to back they've gone. The difference was 14. After this, it will be only 10. With the kick to come, it could well be 8. A simple decision, you would think, coming from Eddie Ward. There it is, the try. And there's some animation once again on the bench. They're loving it on the hill as well. It's 32 to 22.
Well, how many times in this game have we seen tries posted inside 6 tackles? Just about every one of them have come by shifting the ball wide. Very good link play and support. A little bit of confusion in the Knights' defence for the first time. We're not used to seeing them slide off tackles either. He was doing his best to be able to get through there, chased by the quickest man in league. Thankfully, had the momentum to get there.
It all started with the big three. Hit up, sucked all the defence in. The defence wasn't spread. That's when they moved it wide. Owen Craigie found a hole and then found Greer on the inside. And gee, this West Tigers side, they're still in this match.
Joel Cain hasn't missed tonight. He adds another 2 points. What a scoreline this is now. 32 points to 24. The Newcastle Knights, with Ben Kennedy coming back on, make their 10th change of the game. They're down to their last turn, of course. They're playing, as we've just found out, a man short on their bench because Clint Newton has a damaged rotator cuff and won't be back tonight, and you would think he might be out for some time as well if it's a rotator cuff. Pearson has made some good runs for the Tigers in this second half. They need to keep it going though. They trail now by just 8. Here's Crouch cutting back across the ruck as well. He was almost away. The Knights are dying on their run. The Tigers are jumping out of the ground. Mesha at the halfway line. That's 4 tackles gone in this set of 6. Again, they go to the right-hand side. Walker. They didn't need the ball in his hands at that stage.
Last one, Billy off. Last one.
Jeffries will give it to Galea. They run it on the last tackle to McGuinness. He'll put the kick in, a high ball. It will just stay in the field of play. Konfusi came down with it, got another kick in. The ball stays in play. No, it doesn't.
In we go. It's a
touchdown.
scrum in here. Scrum in here.
In the air.
No, scrum in here. I can't check those ones,
Just
Darren.
when everybody here at Campbelltown thought they'd scored again.
You're loose. The last tackle is a kick into touch. No, because it was kicked into touch.
This was such a close-run thing. The ball, well, according to the touch judge, touched the line. I thought it might have been for McGuinness having a foot on the line as he kicked it. That's my concern, or was my concern, as the play unfolded here live. But I tell you what, the touch judge was right on top of it. He must have touched a blade of white grass. And only just. So Davis to Kennedy. The Knights try and steady the ship here.
Come on.
Here's Parsons, the forwards with a roll on now. Trying to create something. Kennedy. He's one off the ruck. He wants it again. They can't stop him at the moment. They do with a good tackle they made by Crouch. Running. Under all sorts of pressure. Flipped it out the back.
Stay 10. Stay 10.
To Morris, who got the
Stay
kick
10.
away, and Kane plays it coolly off the legs before he fires the pass to Carwell. What a finish we've got coming up here. Still 19 minutes left. Oh, high tackle there. Crouch was
Stand
taken
up,
around
nothing
the
wrong with that.
shoulders, obviously, according to Archer. A little bit of everything in this game suddenly. Here's Walker, charging at them down the blind side. Passes have been sticking for the Tigers. Short ball this time from Jeffries to
Last
Pearson.
one, lead the ball, Knights.
Then another backline sweep. Centre. They'll give it to Jeffries. He rolls it in behind them. Taken out of the play, and they're going to tackle another penalty here. Jeffries
He took him straight out. He kept going through and took him out, mate. No, he doesn't, but he can't keep going forward. Yep, you.
This will be interesting because as soon as the whistle blew, Jeffries bounced back to his feet. Here it is, puts the kick in. There really wasn't much in it. Perry just coming across. Jeffries flopped to the ground like the best of the Olympic divers, if you like. It really wasn't, again, a sort of effort. Great matter though for the Tigers fans. They're tapping it inside the 20 of the Knights. They trail by 8. Jeffries fires it back to Galea.
That's it. Play on now. Let's tackle
Ball
1, 2
the
balls
field
on there.
For a moment there, kicked off. Time blown back on. Here's Crouch. He's just 6 metres away from the Newcastle line. Jeffries. It comes to Craigie, to McGuinness. Good tackle by McDougall. McGuinness was trying to get on his outside. McDougall made a blinding tackle. O'Donnell is back out there. He'll play it now. They go left. Pearson to Jeffries. They're up quickly on the right-hand side of the Newcastle defence. Bringing back in. And it dropped in the tackle. Another penalty for the Tigers.
Wait. I got it, Billy. He's still holding on. Wait. There he is. Take it back, Billy. I've got it. There you go. Back.
They take a quick tap. No, they don't.
Back over here.
Oh,
I haven't given it to you. No, I'm giving him the mark again. That's what the rule is. Yeah, he's still holding on. Wait, Darren. It's holding on. Now take it back, Billy. Don't waste time. There you go.
Billy Peden trying to slow things down. Centre was under the pace, he thought, for a moment. Now O'Donnell.
Went back. Play on.
To Craigie. They're 10 away from the Newcastle line. Centre at dummy half again. Comes to Jeffries. Now to Crouch. Met by Wynn. To help on the far side there of one other Newcastle player. Pearson had the arm
Play
free.
on off the foot.
Play on. Off the Knights. It bounces out the Joel.
I just want to see if it's a knock on or it comes back off the foot. Just wait, Darren. Just wait. Just wait. I just want to see if it's off the foot. Yeah, I'm checking that. That's what I'm checking.
Beautiful. They come off their foot, mate.
Corey Pearson took the odds to it.
Whether it's a knock
Had
on or it
the
comes
arm
back off the
free
foot.
again. They want to take a look at it. Eddie Ward will adjudicate on this one. Gets the arm free. It comes off the foot of the Newcastle Knights. As we thought, it bounces up for Joel Kane, and that's a try. It's about to be 32 points to 28. In a close range, Joel Kane could make it a 2-point game. Try is the decision from Eddie Ward. It's 32 points to 28. We've got 16 minutes left. And Campbelltown Stadium, I can tell you, is alight.
What service they've got out of their boards in this second half, the West Tigers. Walker Pearson in particular have provided great service. Steve Crouch is one guy that really has stood out to me. But their impressive point is that they're going forward. We saw, of course, the deficiency at the start of half-time in their offloads. The Knights were way in front in that department. Suddenly, that's been evened up a little bit. They may have only got 5 or 6 back. But out of that, 3 of them were led directly to tries.
Joel Kane. Just to the side of the post. Strikes it beautifully again. It's a 2-point ball game. 32 plays 30 here at Campbelltown.
I'm watching it, Darren.
There it is again. Corey Pearson, what a pass.
Yeah, fantastic, beautiful play here. Back inside comes the ball. It does come off the foot, but it's the backing up. They want to win this game, the Tigers. They're desperate, they're keen. On the bench, they'll lift. Yes.
Kickoff comes down for the Tigers, and it's Walker who'll bring it back. The Newcastle Knights were looking for second place on the premiership ladder coming into this game tonight. In their last 4 games now, they've given up 30 points, 26 points, and of course 49 points last week to the Sharks. They've won 2 of those last 3. In a real battle now to try and make it 3 from their last 4 and claim that second place in the table. Here's O'Donnell. Another tackle made by Kennedy. What a game he's had. Santa gives it. Comes from Jeffries to Craigie. So he gave it a little bit of form from the pass tonight. Jeffries again. This time will go high to the air. Corfusi can jump. Doesn't make a play at it though. Davis comes down with it. Brave take by the fullback.
It was a great catch by Robbie O'Davis, but there was a grave mistake made by the West Tigers. A couple of their players had an opportunity to compete for that ball, jump up and make it so much tougher for Robbie O'Davis to catch.
Release now!
Parsons takes it forward for the Knights. Comes to Perry. Met down low by Pearson. Walker over the top with the help of Craigie. Runner. Stepping off his left foot. On out the back. Davis knocked it backwards. That will be their last tackle. Win kicking again. This one's too big though. Out of the fall. And the Tigers will have it from just inside Newcastle territory. O'Donnell slips as he comes to the Knights. Still 12 minutes here left in this game at Campbelltown, can you believe? Here's Pearson, met by Simpson. The Tigers building again for another raid on the Newcastle line. O'Donnell pushed away from one before Wynn came again to get him. McGuinness passes to Jeffries and now O'Neill's carts it forward. Just outside the Knights 20. Centre. Again to Jeffries. Comes to Kennedy. Fires a ball back out. Here it comes to McGuinness now.
Went back, play on, went back.
Backwards. I thought perhaps off a night even maybe McDougall was having a real battle with McGuinness suddenly. And now Galea spinning in the tackle. Taken by Parsons on the 5th tackle. The bomb floating high in the air off the boot of Craigie. Lovely take by Tahu. In the face of Corfusi. He'll tap it up to 20. Kennedy runs it again. It was a high kick from Craigie. Only Corfusi had a shot at it for the Tigers. He couldn't get there in time. Parsons down. Lovely tackle down low by O'Donnell to stop him. Here's Perry again. Got some roughing up from the Tigers and is forced a mistake this time. He dropped it cold. Centre came up with it. And a chance for the Tigers to the left-hand side. That's where Crouch goes. They had a 3-on-2 but couldn't work it as Crouch hung on to it. Galea gets to dummy half. He goes to the left-hand side. Albert comes off his wing to make a tackle on O'Halloran. Might have been a high shot as well. A little bit dusty as he gets back to his feet. And a tap from Albert as well. Jeffries fires it out the back again from O'Donnell to Craigie. He lost it in the tackle. It will be play on. They hang on to McDougall. Now Peden will work it away. Here's Parsons. He's putting his hand up for the Knights in this crucial period of the game. Possession is even up. The Knights own 63% of it. Half-time. Perry has made another mistake. The ball intercepted by McGuinness. Pearson takes it across the halfway line. Centre goes from dummy half. A frenetic period in this game. They'll be out on their feet both these sides. The Knights have got one player out. It's Parsons who's come from the field and he is absolutely spent. Corfusi plays it from Cody. The ball is behind Jeffries. Pearson goes back to clean up. Still a chance for them. Tackles left in this set of 6 as they go to the left-hand side. O'Neill bumps it forward. They've used 5 tackles, 1 more left. Change at dummy half. It comes to Jeffries. They've bombed the last 2 times. They grab it this time. This is there. He's played the ball down. I don't know whether he was onside.
He just wants to check the onside.
At first look, I thought he may have been a fraction in front, but this bloke's timing in recent seasons has been first class. Look at that. He's held himself back. I think that one's okay. The lid is about to be lifted off the Campbelltown Stadium. Welcome back to first grade.
That's incredible. I would have put a few dollars on McGuinness being in front of the kicker. We're waiting on the decision from the video referee. The touchies are standing by, as is everybody else. It's a try! They've hit the lead! What a comeback for Kevin McGuinness! He grabs the touchdown, and he's come back from a much publicised drug suspension, the darkest period in his life, and he scored the try that puts them in front. He's still blowing kisses. Why not, Kev? It came from this mistake from Josh Perry. He popped it up. McGuinness was there to take the intercepts, and then he finished it off 50 metres downfield.
Yeah, it's a great... McGuinness has really put himself into this game. There's no two ways about this. This is a classy piece of play. And you all had a shot at me when I said it might be an upset tonight. Well, it certainly looks on the card. McGuinness, his timing is just absolutely superb then. He held himself back, as Wally said. He went a bit of an angle to stay behind the football, so he didn't get in front, but he didn't want to lose the momentum. He had to be on the move, and he was. Now their scoreline's on the move.
This to put them forward clear. Once again, just beside the post is Joel Kane. What a night he's having. What a night the Tigers are having. An incredible scoreline. It was 32 points to 12 early in the second half after Kennedy scored his third try. The Tigers have scored 24 unanswered points.
Warren, I can remember when I said when that happened, it'd be interesting if the Tigers could come back and score another try. I've got to be super honest. I didn't think there were any hope of doing it. I think they've even surprised their most faithful supporter here in Campbelltown.
Takes it up towards the 30-metre line. Just over 7 minutes left. Crouch has been very good after coming off the bench in the second half. Mesha is back out there. Craigie gives a pass away to Carlo, who comes in off the wing. He's been very composed, the Tigers, in this last 25 minutes.
Warren, I think that this is the test for them, because in the past they wouldn't have been able to hold it together. If they hold it together now, yes, they are coming of age, and Terry Lamb's coaching is starting to work.
Sahu retrieves the kick. He looks up to find a wall of about 8 or 9 orange jumpers in front of him. They're inspired at the moment. Lovely tackle from Mesha on Gidley. Taylor is met by Pearson. They try to crunch him as well. Stumbling as he comes to the defensive line. Wynn running at them at speed again. Coming away to Peden. They stop him, tempted at the halfway line. That's 5 tackles gone. Davis gets a hurried kick away. Wasn't a good one, and Kane takes it easily on his own 20. The game is now the Tigers to lose. An incredible lead they have, 4 points. Less than 6 minutes left. The Knights were cruising without Andrew Johns when they led by 20. If they lose here tonight, I'll tell you what, the papers will be full of headlines saying they can't win without Johns. They lost 4 of 6 when he was missing in the middle part of the season. He's only missing for another week next week, but of course they take on the Dragons. And they trail here by 4. It might be more in just a moment as Mesha darts away from dummy half. Manu will give it to Galea. A big tackle coming up. You get the feeling an important tackle made by McDougall on O'Connell. Had the Tigers got 6 more tackles there,
Have a look,
they might
Tigers.
have gotten very close to wrapping this one up, you had the feeling.
Oh, I think that's a terrible mistake that they've made. They still may get out of it, but I think that they have to try and put the pressure on the Newcastle team. Put the ball in the air. Anything to give themselves an equal opportunity to get another 6 tackles.
Albert is away! Steps straight through them. Stepping past Joel Kane as well. Almost.
Get away!
He dragged him down. They move it quickly to the left-hand side. From Wynn, a lovely pass to McDougall. Stepping back inside McGuinness, but the ball is intercepted by Galea. What a marvellous year he's had, the number 6 positions for them this year. At lock forward, second row, hooker as well. And he keeps being the man who comes up with an important piece of play at some time for the Tigers in this last month. He's done it again here tonight as the Newcastle Knights look likely to score. O'Halloran.
Well, they've got to play to their strengths here. Make sure they keep it around about centre field. They've got to kick to the corners and affect a good kick and chase game. They can't lax off now.
Let go.
Scandalis will play it. Back to Mesha. Craigie. Everything sticking for him at the moment as he finds the touchline. The pass wasn't intended for him, but he wanted it. Took it beautifully in his stride and then rolled it across the touchline.
You described it perfectly, Warren. He wanted it.
Terry,
He's got the maturity and the experience to realise what was necessary was to burn up the clock. He'll get rid of about another 45 seconds here.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Just as important, give his teammates that little bit of time to be able to affect their defence, communicate and make sure that they've got one straight line.
You're not doing it that way, Terry.
Gidley from the scrum win.
Away.
The Tigers there in numbers to stop him. They're 15 out from their own line with 3 minutes left. Peden plays it quickly. Here's Win again. What a mature game this rookie has had tonight. Ball from Peden to McDougall. The pass was forward. Another mistake from the Knights. And the Tigers are very close to getting 2 incredible points here.
I've got to tell you, I've got to give it a huge rap to a guy that mightn't get too many. Just watch this as the ball's being shifted out. It doesn't look like he's played much of a role in that part of it there.
Come on.
When you have a look at Kafusi and the way that he's managed to sprint out of the line, that's at the moment. He's sprinted out of the line to put pressure on the pass every time it's been thrown.
McGuinness stepping away from them. Almost under the tackle there of Simpson, who got from the scrum quickly with Bailey. Here's Wally Manu. Ducks under a high tackle. Still going down towards the Newcastle 20. He fires it out the back. And that's where Mesha takes it. Midfield. The player just outside the 20, using up some seconds on the clock. Scandalis. He takes it forward and takes some stopping as well. Galea, he gets the first receiver. Towards the post, they've used 4 tackles. Mesha turns it back. Comes the centre to Galea, to McGuinness. He's got Corfusi with him. Turns it back on the inside. Looking for the line, but can't find it.
Get off!
Desperate tackle made by Simpson again. Centre gives it to Jeffries. Off the post, it's sitting down, but Joe Kate couldn't get to it.
Come on, get off!
It was there for the win. Had it came to him, it bounced the wrong way though. The Knights remain in the hunt. 50 seconds left.
Darren!
Gidley's got it. It's 36 to 32.
Owen Craigie's down in back play as well. They've only got an 11-man defensive lineup.
Here's Tahu picking it up. They need to keep it alive. We've just got 30 seconds left now in this game as he plays it to Peden. Here's Runner. A flat pass knocked on by Marquardt. That should be the game. The Tigers have got it. The Tigers have the ball.